you're going to learn how to use this self-defense tool that could save your life. Now, this is a walking cane. This is a medical device. This one specifically is designed for self-defense. It is a medical device. You can carry this anywhere and everywhere you go. And it also has some unique features that will allow you to use it immediately for self-defense. I'm going to talk about that, how to immediately employ it, because I want you to spend as little time as possible figuring out how you can defend yourself in the world that we're all living in right now. So if you only have option of carrying something with you, or maybe you carry other things for self-defense too, but you want to have more of a gray man, gray woman option, something you can carry anywhere you go, the walking stick allows you to go anywhere with it. You can go into non-permissive environments where you can't take one of these. You can have this for protection. You can immediately reach up and snatch somebody between the legs, hit them there. You might hit them in the chin. Maybe they're reaching out to hit you. You can smash the hand. And the way that you do that is simply by holding it the way you normally or naturally would, with your hand on the ground. The threat's coming in really fast, you snatch it up. Now I have the other one in my hand so that you can see if you need a cane for mobility. In other words, you can't walk around without your cane. You have to lean on it. You could carry a second cane, lean on one, and strike with the other one. You can do most of these strikes with simply one hand. So you're leaning on one and strike with the other one. This is a starting motion. You can also bring it back and down on top of his head. So you snatch it up between his legs, and then by turning your hand over, then smash using this hard piece of oak right onto the top of his head. Now, I have several options I wanted to show you. The first one is rattan. And this is a great training starting point. If you want to get these, I think it's the second link below. These hard self-defense canes are the first link if you want to see what the dimensions are. But the nice thing about a rattan cane is if you're not as strong as you once were, or if you have some other physical limitations, it's extremely lightweight and it's extremely hard. So you can still defend yourself and strike full power without breaking your self-defense tool. So this is rattan. Again, that's a link below. I like to train once you get a little bit stronger with oak or hickory. And I carry this one. This is my everyday carry cane. This has some unique features. This teardrop shape here allows you to compress flesh and shatter bone. That means if some bad guy's coming at you, or a multiple group, several people are coming at you, hello from Cincinnati, you can strike and create maximum amounts of stopping power for self-defense using a cane with that as a feature. This is also going to create a lot of stopping power. So you have this technique here where you snatch it up between his legs, and then you can come over the top or bring it in at an angle. Also, just from this position, you can reach, just like you were doing this motion here. We call this a reverse knife hand chop in karate or martial arts. You can bring this hand here, just bring your hand across your body. That's how your pecs work. Your pecs make that motion. Hello, Elite, it's good to see you. So this is also a very strong motion. And again, if you need the other one to lean on, you can bring that up and around. So you have under, you have over, and then you have up to the side. You can also bring it in from the other side, almost like you're gonna do a back fist motion, slapping him across his face for self-defense. You bring this up and across that way, striking through and pulling this way. Now that's 4 explosive motions. 1, 2, 3, 4, all done with a single hand. And the next one I want you to see with the single hand is lifting and thrusting. Now, if you lift it to about hip level, your hip, and your arm is attached to your hip, it's gonna be harder for him to pull it out of your hand, and you can step and turn and thrust right through the center of his body. You're always gonna ask yourself, what targets can you remove or destroy? Those are principles of self-defense written by a brilliant self-defense guru. His name is Tim Larkin. There's a link to his book below if you want to get, it's called When Violence is the Answer. The whole concept is use violence against violence, and it totally breaks down self-defense, removes it from the realm of competitive fighting and martial arts and boxing and everything else, and it makes it more realistic. It makes it work for anybody. No matter what your challenge is, whether you're bigger, smaller, older, younger, self-defense is for everybody when you focus on the principles and not the techniques. So that's in the book below. If you look in the links below, When Violence is the Answer. But the question you're gonna ask, this is called target acquisition training. You're gonna train yourself to think in terms of what you can remove or destroy. His ability to see, his ability to breathe temporarily, permanently through the throat, his ability to stand up. Maybe you take out the leg, you smash that knee. You take out the arm, you take away his ability to grab you or stab you or punch you, bringing it here. Maybe you come up to the head. Maybe that's a motion coming down over the top. And all those basic strikes are designed to, yeah, the dirtier the better, Steve says. But it's not just dirty, it's violence, right? That's why we call it dirty. It's violence against violence. What can you remove or destroy? Knock him out, smashing him on top of his head with a simple turning motion, coming down over the top. I'm gonna show you how to train that in just a second. You knock him out, fight's over, you win. That's what you want. You wanna be able to defend yourself. And if you've been watching just some of these communities falling apart across the country and mob violence and groups of violence, who knows if you're gonna get caught up in that. And if you have some basic training in self-preservation, self-protection, be your own bodyguard, be the agent in charge of your self-protection detail of yourself and your family, and you carry this self-defense tool that could save your life, you learn how to train with this. You have up over the legs, between the legs, down on top. You have it coming in here. You have it coming back the other way. Again, that's that back fist, up across the side of his head, and then lifting, touching your body, and pushing. Now, that's if you're leaning on just one other cane in the other hand. If you also put your front hand in it, when you step, you can see how much more you're going to be able to move and push through the center of his body with two hands. Now you have a very powerful self-defense tool that could save your life because you have two hands on it. From here, you can slide this hand down and smashing, big motion, your hand comes up and that comes down over the top. Now a lot of these techniques I haven't shown before because I saved these a little bit for more advanced training, but I wanted you to see those today using this Cane Master self-defense training cane. The link is below. These are super simple tools. These used to be really inexpensive. They've gotten a bit pricier for some reason that I don't understand, except for, I do understand, we all understand, everything has gotten so much more expensive, right? It's all related. Gas goes up, diesel goes up, wood goes up, can't get this, can't get that. Anyway, we're all in it together in that way, as they used to say a couple years ago when that other thing was going on. Now, those are all simple techniques, things I haven't shown that much before, but I wanted to show you too how to get stronger in these one-handed strikes. And we'll talk about the two-handed strikes too. If you take your band, this is an exercise band, and I put links below to all the things that I do in my videos so that you can see. And when you buy those, I do get a commission, but let me tell you for a fact that it's pennies. I'm not paying any bills with it. So if you do that, I do make a little bit, and maybe they add up every couple months to maybe every 3 or 4 months to like a light payment when I pay for electricity to keep the lights on here. So anyway, so yeah, full disclosure, I do make a little bit of money, but not that much. Oh, hey, it's Griffin. That's how we make money here. Thank you so much for that cup of coffee. That does help quite a bit. And I'm so appreciative when you guys give me the super chats and the chat stickers and the super thanks after these things are no longer live. That's what helps pay the bills. That's what helps pay the rent here in the virtual dojo. I'm just pushing like I'm doing a standing push-up. That's what I want you to do, just to get your arms and your chest stronger, your grip stronger. If you can. If you can't do it, then find a way to modify it if you can, and if not, then we'll find some other way to do it. Now I want you to push straight, and we're gonna go back to, let me grab one of the other canes. We're gonna go back to this motion where you're coming across your body, because I said it when I was showing you before. What's happening is you're abducting, you're crossing the body with your arm, and you're using your big chest muscle to bring this across. So we do these exercises with the bands not to look good on the beach, but so that when we hit, we have super explosive, powerful strikes with stopping power. You want to stop him. You want to use violence against him before you use violence against you. He's trying to take your dignity, your life, your freedom. He's trying to hurt one of your family members. You're going to turn off his operating system. You're going to knock him out for self-defense with a strike next or against his head. And you're going to get stronger with this motion. Now you're going to do this push-up in 3 basic positions and for about 30 seconds. You only need to do 30 seconds at a time. And if you do need to get a pair of these bands or some of these bands, start with like a really thin one first and maybe you get two. A thin one thinner than this, like about half of that, and you'll see what I mean if you look at the link. Thank you, Alita. Thank you so much for that super chat. But this one is a little bit wider. The thinner it is, the easier it is, the wider it is, the harder it is. But don't go getting a big, thick band. I have them on the wall. In fact, I'll show you. I can't do anything with it except I use them. Let me grab two of them. I can do the green one a little bit. This one here, oh, there's the ceiling, we just found it. And I always put it on the hook side or the crook side first, and then you push it behind your body to get it over there. And some people prefer to do this motion with their arms on the outside of the band, and you can do that. I don't like to do that, but it's just my personal preference. I like it over my arms just because I don't like the way it pulls on my back. But other people prefer it the other way. So I can do this just because I've done millions and millions of push-ups in my life. I used to do push-up fundraisers where I would raise money for charity every year, pick a different charity, and literally do thousands in a day. So I have a lot of push-up ability. But these will wear you out. 30 seconds, time under tension is the key. You want to do 30 seconds. You do that for 30 seconds, you're gonna feel all the blood go in there. And again, this is not so you look strong and powerful, so you are strong and powerful when you do that strike. Then pushing down in this position for 30 seconds. Rest for 30 seconds or up to 2 minutes, let your heart rate come back down. This is also gonna lean you out faster. It's gonna make you feel younger because your chemistry is gonna change. It's gonna make you younger. When you go to sleep, you're gonna get some good growth hormone come out and heal your body up. Yeah, time under tension, Anonymous says. Time under tension, especially as you get older, you have to trade ego exercise, like where you go for big power weights and 2 or 3 reps, for time under tension. So you don't have injuries, so you have dense muscle fiber that's explosive and powerful, so that injuries slow you down more. It takes, as you know, if you're older like me, it takes you forever to recover compared to when you're like 19, 20 years old. So be smarter, right? And you still get a great workout, especially you do something like this. Now, the other one I wanted to show you, this super heavy duty band. See if we can set that up. And full disclosure, I've never done this before. So if I pop a muscle, it's all live and you got to see it first. But I can get one out. So maybe you work up to something like this, but it would just be a waste of money to get something this thick from the beginning. That feels hard. Definitely hard. But the point is, start with the thin band and then work yourself wider if you want. And these are so inexpensive. You get one of these and one of these, you have a full gym. And I'm not kidding. I can show you probably 50 exercises, 3 or 4 for every part of the body, just using a band with and without your cane. All right, so let's talk about those strikes I showed you from the beginning. I showed you snatch it up between his legs, smash him on the top of his head, bring this from this side, and bring it over from this side. So 4 basic strikes. We also did a one-handed thrust and a two-handed thrust, and then smashing down over top. If you start with your palm in the crook of your cane and the long side coming out of the thumb side, you can hear I'm breathing heavy from that last band. That took a lot of effort. I'm all excited though, because when we're done here, I gotta run over and teach a bunch of 3-year-olds. But then when I get back, I'll have some time to do a few more band push-ups. When you turn it this way, your hand is mostly closed, and you're doing this motion so that you build callus in your hand. Now, I've often said that I do not personally teach this spin as a self-defense move. However, doing that spin is conditioning your body, conditioning your heart, your lungs, your muscles, your legs, your arms, everything, giving you callus, teaching you timing and distance, spatial awareness, proprioception, and it's also making that strike a lot faster. So that strike, I would say yes, starting from here, come up and hit him once, maybe hit him across the face, bring it back the other way, smash him up here, but I'm not necessarily doing the spin this way. But I do want you to see you can do combat cane spinning with your Cane Master self-defense canes, starting with an open grip, but your hand closed. It's just relaxed, like a hole through there. If you've ever used the tonfa You know what that's like, the PR-24, the side handle baton. And then you're gonna come across and back. And again, it's like a slap across the face, followed by a back fist. Coming over and back, stomach up and in, abs tight, drop your chin. Make this a core workout. You can do this standing or sitting. You can have your other hand on your cane, your other cane if you need it. Put it in the other hand, spin it around. Get that going again, 30 seconds, time under tension. We also want that for the brain. And you're gonna bring it over and back. You're gonna create a lot of brain elasticity. You're gonna become more flexible in your brain. If you're flexible in your thinking, you'll be more flexible in your body. And it works the other way around too. Increase your flexibility physically through this motion, and then you'll have a more flexible personality. As we get older, we become more inflexible. So it's important to seek out exercises that get you out of your comfort zone and make you more uncomfortable. And then that leads to better tolerance and flexibility and not becoming so stuck in our ways that we hurt ourselves because we can't imagine anything except the way things have always been done. And I think you know what I mean. You know better than I do. So we're just coming across and back. You're doing that for 30 seconds. Throw it in the other hand. If you want to, put it on the floor. Throw in a set of squats. Build those power in the legs. And those are all simple ways that you can defend yourself with this one simple self-defense tool that could save your life. This is how you want to train with it, learn how to use it. You can also thrust, bring it from the shoulder, practice striking at the angle, and always coming off your shoulder. Other hand is always up, striking from the angle, then striking up, pulling it up. If you're familiar with Filipino martial arts, FMA, Eskrima, Arnis, Kali, you already know how to do these basic motions. These are four simple strikes. Maybe you know how to use HEMA martial arts. The historical European martial arts, a lot of the short swords use a lot of the same motions too. And then across the body and back. Horizontal strikes, palm up when you come across. So if you run into something, it doesn't pop out of your hand. Palm down for the same reason, it doesn't pop out of your hand. If you go the wrong way, it'll rip your hand off, or rip your hand off your cane. He'll take it from you and beat you with it. And that's not for self, that's violence, right? We want to use self-defense. Striking down vertically, you can also turn your palm and strike back up, coming up and across the body, down, straight down. Think about where you're targeting his forehead, maybe his clavicle, maybe he's reaching out for you, you're smashing that hand. And again, you use this cane. The rattan cane, not so much. The rattan cane, actually you can move that rattan cane so fast that you probably could break most people's bones. But this is gonna be so much, if you get one of these Cane Masters self-defense canes, it's the first link below, you're gonna see, especially if you get these done in hickory, get it made in hickory, it's gonna be so much harder and it's gonna compress flesh. That means everything gets squished in there and then it's a high-pitched sound usually when bones break. You're gonna break the bones with your strikes. For self-defense, basic training with these motions. I love two-handed thrusts. I like to turn the crook around the other way and use that as kind of a rifle butt strike. Same way, coming straight in from here. And then if you turn so that this beveled part of the crook goes into his skin, you can remove his teeth, his nose, you can pull his eyes out of his head for self-defense. You can reach up, dig into that muscle back there. That'll cause a lot of damage for self-defense. Maybe you're sitting in a wheelchair, but you use the self-defense cane. You can rake that into his ribs, if he's taller than you or if he's higher than you, into the side of his thigh. That's not gonna penetrate his skin. That's just gonna go and hit all those nerves and muscles in there, and that's gonna create a lot of self-defense action. And you can combine those strikes. You can thrust to the face, rip, you can bring the backhand through like a punch to the face. You can chop them down on top just like you're using that as an axe for self-defense. You can lower your body, come up and in and strike, all using just the crook of it. Yeah, Steve says just a little off the top. Amen. So that's just simple ways. You learn how to use a self-defense tool like the walking cane for self-defense, especially like a Cane Masters cane or the rattan cane. I put a link below if you want. The rattan cane's like 20 bucks. It's a great starting point for most people. This dojo training cane from Cane Masters self-defense canes is probably twice that. And then the real fancy one, let me see if I can get it over here. Doesn't, there we go. This one, it's got the eyeballs on it. Looks like a, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a snake or a bird. is some kind of animal that's gonna bite you. It's got the paracord there. You can, if it gets all bloody or sweaty for self-defense, then that's gonna keep it in your hand. It's got that dull blade, which is really a teardrop shape. It's gonna compress flesh. And this is gonna be top of the line. You can have them made and stylized any way you want. If you go to that Cane Master Self-Defense Cane website, you'll see these are all personalized. You can get your initials on them if you want. But I carry this in my car. It's my auto insurance policy. While I'm pumping gas in my truck, I have my cane. I like to carry it like this. That pops up even faster. That comes in even quicker. That comes down fast. For self-defense, especially around here, there's some real shady people hanging out around the gas stations these days as people get more and more desperate, as inflation and all the other craziness, all the other things that are happening are putting stress on the system. It's just an extra level of protection. Like I said, I call it an auto insurance or auto or homeowner's policy, an insurance policy, life insurance policy. I call these insurance policies just because it makes me think of having something extra in reserve just in case. And I carry multiple self-defense tools with me at all times. And depending on where I go into a lot of non-permissive environments, places I cannot bring these, or I cannot bring these, and I can't bring my blades, but I can bring these anywhere and everywhere I go, and I do sometimes, or I have other sticks that I use for self-defense. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again for all that, the sticker love and the thanks love, and I'll see you guys.